Hey everyone, and welcome to the part 2 video of Becoming Whole and Complete Again. This is Natasha Fernandes, and I will be talking to you today about one of the phenomenal organs in our body, that is your brain, and how it stores trauma, and how you, as a result of being traumatized, behave, react, or have emotions as a result of that. So when we talk about brain, okay, it is most of the time said that it's a very complex organ. According to me, it is one of the most phenomenal organs, okay, which has the capacity to change. So now when I am talking about your brain having the capacity to change, if you have experienced any trauma, if you have experienced any incident or any situation that has been in a repetitive mode, or even if you've experienced that once and it has stayed with you, okay, it has stayed in you to create this trauma, we are going to go into detail of how that happens, because I always believe that information is strength. When you are informed about what's happening with you, when you are given information about how to change that, as a human, you feel more empowered and you feel more confident about taking steps and changing that. So, when we talk about the brain, it is said that we have three brains, okay? In one, of course, okay, in one skull, it is divided into three. The first part, which is the lowest part that is connected to your spine and your neck as a bridge, that is called as the reptilian brain. So when we talk about reptilian brain, why is it, named like this? Because all beings, whether it's a human, whether it's an animal, whether it's a reptile, all beings are known to have this brain, which is called as the reptilian brain. And it takes care of your bodily functions like regulating your heartbeat, regulating your body temperature, regulating the actions of your body. So it takes care of your organs. And this is present in all the beings. It's present in mammals, it's present in amphibians, it's present in reptiles. That's how it is said to have that name. And along with the evolution, okay, the another part of the brain was formed, which is known as the limbic system. Now, this is the seat, and it is also interchangeably called as your emotional brain. So, what happens in the limbic system? So, your limbic system is also responsible for regulating your emotions, regulating part of your hormones, and doing all the functions about memory and learning. And here in the limbic system, we have a very important organ known as the amygdala. So now the amygdala's major role is to signal danger. I will come to it a little later of how it functions and how it works. The third part of it, which we humans are said to have, that's how we are called as the Homo sapiens, okay, the thinking man. So the third part is called as the neocortex. And the neocortex, or the prefrontal area of your brain, is where all the executive functions are performed. Like I'm talking about something with information and memory and inspiration. You must be processing that information. You must be understanding that information. You will apply logic to it. You will reason out. You have a way of organizing things, of problem solving. So, all the executive functions, all the management functions are performed by the neocortex. So, why have I explained about this? Because I want you to know of how your brain functions when you are in trauma or when someone is in trauma. So now we will come back to our reptilian brain and the limbic system, because those are the two which are going to help us understand this phenomenon in a better way. So yesterday I spoke about an example of a child being punished by a physical abuse in the class that will stay in his system. So what happens over there? Okay. So when this happened, when the child was beaten by the teacher, what happened at that time? The reptilian brain first started kicking in. The reptilian brain started telling him two things. One, fight. Second, flight. And the third and the most ignored and important thing, freeze. So anytime over, okay, if you are attacked physically, emotionally, mentally, sexually, verbally, anyway, if you are attacked, that is when you feel that you have a trauma. And at that point, what happens to you is that you will choose one of the three options. You will either fight, like you will retaliate back physically. So, what your reptilian brain does, your reptilian brains is going to start pumping blood to the organs which are going to take action. And which are the organs in your body that is responsible for taking action? It is your hands and it is your legs. So either you're going to kick someone, you're going to punch someone, slap someone back. So that is what is known as fight. That's what we do, right? We get into a hands and leg movement when it comes to fight. Your pupils will be dilated and expanded. So that is what the reptilian brain does. That's what the instruction happens. And at that very time, all the other functions of your body, which is not responsible directly for survival, for example, digestion, okay, digestion can go on hold for some time, okay, and the other secondary functions can go on hold for the some time. So at that point, the main thing, your immunity is suppressed and your digestion is suppressed. And I will talk about it in detail when we are looking at how your body responds to trauma. So here, this is what your reptilian brain is doing. Second, if you are supposed to take the option of flight, again, it will be the same thing. The blood is rushed in your limbs so that you can run from there. Maybe the danger or the person who's attacking you is larger than you, stronger than you, bigger than you, okay, and you just want to flee from there. So you run. For example, a tiger is coming to attack you. You will obviously run unless you have some instrument to combat. So there is no option of combat over there. The third one is freeze. And that's exactly what the boy did. He didn't know that he can fight. He didn't know that he had a chance to fly. Okay, even if it's a school setup, there is an option that you can leave the place, even temporarily, maybe run outside, anything. But he did not do that. And that's what most of the people who are going through trauma do. They take the third method, which is freeze. And when you freeze, okay, when you are in trauma and when you freeze, that is the exact moment you will lock that into your cellular memory far more than the first two things. Because in the first two scenarios of fight and flight, you have at least, compensated your logic by taking some action. You can tell, oh, I went to a jungle, the tiger was chasing me, I ran from there, I was scared. Or you will say that, if somebody just got into a fight with me and then I also hit back, I was so angry. So you have these options, you have something to tell them. But when you are frozen, you have nothing to tell them. Why? Let me explain that. Now we are going to the limbic system, the emotional brain. So here, as I said about the organ, the amygdala is like, an emergency signal where you say that break glass in emergency. That is how it reacts. And when that is reacting, all you do is all your focus is on your reptilian brain to take some action, and also on the amygdala, which is also, the ability to generate anger or suppress anger, that controls your emotions, that controls the neurotransmitters. And what it does is there's a lot of cortisol pumping up because it is trying to control your stress. It is trying to get some relief to your body because it knows that you're in stress, it knows that you're in danger. And no matter what the danger is, it doesn't have to be like the Stone Age man. Anything that is uneasy, uncomfortable, new, the amygdala will perceive that as a danger. And that signal is on. Then there's another tiny organ which looks like a seahorse. And here is where your memory is stored. But when the amygdala has signaled danger, your hippocampus will also start focusing on putting up cortisol and alerting the other neurotransmitters to transmit what is required at that moment, and it forgets to store memory. So if I ask you, okay, something traumatic happened, what happened after that immediately? Most of the times, 90% of the times, 90% of the people go blank because they are not aware what happens. And that is only because the hippocampus gets confused, and instead of making memories, this happened to me, I was abused, then next this happened, then I went here, then I went there, then this is how I rescued myself. You completely are shut. No memories have been written, no files recorded in your brain. Instead, your body steps in here, okay? And at this point, your body has recorded that sensation. That is why, okay, this is like one reason why I wanted to explain it to each and everyone, that trauma is biological, it is physiological. So I'm not saying that your brain is not involved, it plays a role, but if you are not going to deal with the sensations, with the numbness, with the every trigger that is locked inside your cellular memory, inside your body, you're always going to live an unresolved traumatic life. And it will keep on coming with a present day trigger. Now, for example, this boy who I said is a grown up man, and something similar happens to his son. Do you think he will be in a position to take action? Maybe he will numb himself, and if he has resolved it, I am sure that he will go up to the teacher and explain that this is not the way, or this is not, a line of disciplining that he would prefer for his child. So if you want to be assertive, if you want to live a life, an empowered and confident life, understanding this aspect is important, that your mind and your body also locks trauma together. So this was all about, very in a simple form, about the brain. In the further videos, I am going to discuss more about your body, how stress is stored, how we can change that, and also one of the important things about your nervous system, your autonomic nervous system, about the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, and how to regulate that. I will be doing a little exercises with you of how to regulate your nervous system in a simple and an effective way. Till then, take care, and I will see you in the next video.
Help Talks are daily health-related talks held at Health Education Library for People, Mumbai, India. For more information, visit www.healthlibrary.com. Subscribe to Help Talks channel. Be better informed about your health.